This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. President-elect Donald Trump picked up a win in Michigan this afternoon, sweeping the so-called blue wall states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin that were keys to Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign.
Harris addressed her supporters in Washington, D.C. this afternoon. She called Trump earlier to concede the race and discuss the peaceful transition of power. But she said today the fight will go on.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Trump campaign officials tell CBS News they'll start holding transition meetings immediately in Florida, so they're ready to take office on January 20th. While he hasn't made a public appearance today, Trump spoke in the early morning hours.
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
Trump has said beginning on day one, he will give the order to round up and expel all immigrants living in the U.S. illegally. He wants to impose a tariff of 10 to 20% on all goods not made in America, and he says he will end the wars in Ukraine and Gaza.
8 rallies yesterday.
Most of us went to bed not knowing who won the U.S. Senate race between incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin and challenger Eric Hovde. Hovde was ahead most of the late night hours, and that race wasn't declared until afternoon today. And Baldwin will return to the U.S. Senate for another 6-year term. In elected office for more than 3 decades, Baldwin served in the state assembly and the House before being elected to the Senate in 2012, where she was the first woman to represent Wisconsin and first openly gay member. Braden Ross will have more on this race later on in the newscast. 3 cities in our area had municipal referenda on the ballot last night.
And our Ellie La Liberté is here to break down those results and what they mean for residents.
Yeah, Maddie, Brady, Fitchburg, Madison, and Monona all had questions asking voters to approve a levy increase. $22 million referendum, 57 to 43%. The adoption of the referendum means that the average Madisonian will see a $230 a year increase on property taxes. Now that's on top of the $83 state allowed levy limit. Approving this referendum also means city services like library programming, metro bus services, and brush collection are not at risk of being cut. Fitchburg voters, on the other hand, blocked a $3.6 million increase. This referendum looked to add city staff to keep up with the growing population of the city. It would have cost the average homeowner in Fitchburg an additional $25 a month. Monona residents approved a roughly $3 million referendum. This will increase taxes for the median home value by $713 a year. This money will go towards competitive staff salaries and city costs to keep up with growing prices. One UW professor explains why these municipalities went to referendum.
In the year 2000, state aid consisted of 34% of spending. In 2021, that's down to 15%, a little under 15%. So the state aid has not kept up with spending increases.
Now tonight at 5, you can hear how city officials are responding and what results they plan to do next.
Ellie, thank you. A dreary post-election day, but there's sunshine in our future. Let's get a look at your first warm forecast with Blaze Keller out on the patio.
That's right. We are anticipating more sunshine as we look to end our work week, probably more Friday than Thursday. Thursday, we're going to clear out the cloud cover, and then Friday, we'll see that sunshine. Friday morning, we could also wake up to some fog as winds turn out of the south. And those southerly winds are also going to bring back that chance for rain as we head into your upcoming weekend. But now we are just cloudy with temperatures in the 40s, around 50, though, in Beloit, 48 in Boaz, Sullivan, Green Lake, as well as in Shullsburg. We're at 47 in Packwaukee. So generally speaking, all of us kind of hovering right around 50 degrees. Future track jumping ahead to Saturday. The rain moves into the second half of your evening overnight and then continues into your Sunday. But throughout Sunday, that rain chance is going to be tapering off. Maybe an additional 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain. And that's only going to keep us on track with kind of a normal November. We've already picked up nearly 1.25 inches of rain from the 3rd through the 5th. And for the Madison area specifically, we typically average about 2 inches of rain for the entire month. So we are pretty on pace with at least getting to that 2-inch mark fairly quickly in the month as opposed to October. Tonight, we're headed into the 30s underneath mostly cloudy to partly cloudy conditions. We'll track out even more rain chances and maybe some snowflakes in the extended forecast.
We are entering the end of the year, meaning we could see an increase in respiratory illnesses.
And in this week's Time for Kids story with SSM Health, our Jalen Banks joins us with the importance of protecting our kids this flu and COVID season.
Maddie and Brady, we are in the burr months of the year, November, December, meaning it's colder and respiratory illness season for our little ones is upon us. Speaking with Dr. Christopher Harkin of SSM Health, he shares with me now is a good time to get your child protected against the seasons of COVID and flu. The latest report from the Public Health Madison and Dane County, flu and COVID are at low levels, but Dr. Harkin says you can never be too safe.
I think it's really important because in the end, the one thing we can do when you do get vaccines is make it so that the illness is not as bad if they do get it. I mean, kids still have to get hospitalized sometimes for things like flu and COVID. And the best thing to do, the best way to avoid that kind of stuff is by getting your vaccine.
Dr. Harkin also says he understands concerns about receiving 2 vaccines at once, but assures families it is safe. Now tonight at 5, I will have more from Dr. Harkin on the vaccine numbers we see in Dane County and throughout the state.
Thank you, Jalen. If you're interested in submitting story ideas for our Time for Kids series with SSM Health, you can do that by going to our website, channel3000.com/timeforkids.
It's the annual Giving Day at Edgewood High School. The school is asking the community to contribute. It's the 4th year of the event, and staff and students set a goal to raise $150,000. All proceeds go towards the school's annual funds.
Giving Day is about philanthropy, and philanthropy, the roots of the word, come from the Greek words which means love of humanity. So really it's expressing your love for Edgewood to me, and it means supporting our awesome students, our faculty and staff.
It's not too late to give. The event will go on until midnight. You can contribute online at edgewoodhs.org/EHS Giving Day. While up next, our political panel reflects on election results.
And what the new Congress will look like when we come back.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Pause. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Pause. It's good medicine.
When it comes to winning internet, TDS is in a league of our own. Just like the Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin born and bred, we live, work, play, hire, and get involved in the communities we serve. Like delivering the green and gold standard of internet. 100% fiber internet that's as fast, powerful, and reliable as your other hometown favorite, the Packers. TDS, internet that's built Wisconsin strong.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately.
It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out, Snatch Waist. Loving the results.
It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-888-510-6198 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Come celebrate the season with Baraboo Furniture and Mattresses store-wide fall kickoff sale. Every department is on sale. Save an additional 25% off the lowest marked sales price on Smith Brothers and England living room sets. Save an additional 30% off Flex Steel furniture, 25% off Amish furniture. Every department is on sale in our beautiful showroom, including Ashley, reclining furniture, spring air mattresses, and much more. Hurry in today to the huge store-wide fall kickoff sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, where your satisfaction is our guarantee.
Shop the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. Lease a new Silverado 1500 starting at $355 a month, or a 24 Equinox EV starting at $279 a month. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromMadison.com.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Welcome back. Republicans reclaimed the majority in the U.S. Senate, winning 3 crucial races.
Control of the House of Representatives remains unclear. Abortion measures were on the ballots in 10 states. First-time Republican candidate Bernie Moreno won his bid to unseat Democratic incumbent Sherrod Brown in Ohio's Senate race, one of several contests that helped Republicans retake control of the Senate. Meanwhile, it could be days before it's clear which party will control the U.S. House of Representatives. Democrats flipped 2 key seats in upstate New York. Voters also approved abortion rights in 7 states, with abortion opponents prevailing in 3 others.
We are anticipating a tough legislative session, so we are ready to fight and to make sure that whatever they're going to throw at us, because we know it's going to happen, that all of the volunteers who mobilized continue to show up.
The new Republican majority Senate will be responsible for confirming the cabinet of President-elect Donald Trump. Well, it's been an interesting 24 hours.
Yeah, and a lot of us here at News 3 Now, we were up very late giving you the results as they were coming in. So welcome back, everyone. Will Keneally and Brandon Schultz are in our Studio C with a look back at yesterday's election and what to expect coming up. Hey, Will.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, we are freshly caffeinated, I promise. Hopefully you guys are back there as well. As you mentioned, we're joined by former Republican strategist Brandon Schultz. So now we were, talking late into or the early morning, Wednesday morning. What have we seen since then with, we had the presidential race called for Wisconsin, U.S. Senate race finally called within the last couple of hours in Wisconsin. Anything surprising you from the results?
Well, I think the results last night in general were a surprise because we knew across the country and Wisconsin these races were too close for anybody to call, including the pollsters and the smart pundits and everybody who had an opinion. It simply was too close to call. So as Trump continued to win and build his lead, and we then got to the critical states of those 7 states that had been out there, and he picked up Georgia, and he picked up Arizona and Florida and some of those in North Carolina, it became the blue wall that everybody started talking about a long time ago when Trump picked Vance to help him in the blue wall and Tim Walz is supposed to help Harris. It came down to these 3 states. I think that's when people got further on the edge of their seats to see what's going to happen, who's going to win Wisconsin, what's going to happen. And when that started to break down, when Trump was able to pick up, and make ground in Michigan, and we saw how close it was here, that's when the blue wall crumbled. And so, if there was a surprise, it was that Harris really didn't compete in any of them. And if you look at the map across the country, you've got blue states on the East Coast, and you've got blue states on the West Coast, and most everything else in the middle is red. I think as much as people were saying this was going to be a close race, and as some people want to say that just the color of the map represents a landslide, still these races were all pretty close, but Trump prevailed.
Yeah, and Wisconsin was, at least as the results are coming in, that state that put him over. You're actually looking at some really interesting exit polling data to kind of piece together this understanding of what happened, why we're seeing the shift across a bunch of different states like Wisconsin to the more conservative side.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, in races like this, there are all sorts of different messages that campaigns need to get out there. But in this presidential race, it was clear that Harris had her 2 issues of abortion, health care. Trump had his 2 issues of economy and immigration. And the Harris campaign focused heavily on the abortion message. But in exit polling said almost everybody said the economy was top. So we're looking at 60–70% of the people at exit polls saying economy was the most important issue for them. Right track, wrong track. They thought this country, 60 or 70% of the people thought the country was just in terrible shape, and it was affecting them personally. So they're going into the polling place not caring even as strong as immigration was, or abortion. It was clear that the economy was the driving issue in the presidential race. And you could see it in some of the numbers that Trump picked up. In some of the exit polling, he did very, very well with seniors. Not as well, but improved with younger people. college educated versus non-college educated. You know, the non-college folks are going to Trump. They saw the gender gap stay just the way it was through the whole thing. You know, saw kind of that X. Trump does well with men, Harris does well with women, and that's the way it was. The other thing that we saw from exit polling was Trump obviously does well with Republicans. He got 95%, and Harris gets 95 or 6% of the Democrats. But remember, one of the strategies of the Harris campaign was to try and convince disenfranchised Republicans who maybe were not certain about Trump to come over to their campaign, vote for Harris. And they rolled out all sorts of Republicans, Liz Cheney and a bunch of people to say, it's okay. It didn't happen. 4% of the Republicans went to Harris and 5% of the Democrats went to Trump. I mean, so that strategy didn't work. The messaging on abortion was not enough to come up and push on the economy. That's what I think drove this race.
Wonderful. Well, we will continue to keep track on this as we hopefully get a little bit more rest under our belt. Brandon Schultz, thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Will.
And we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Brandon. Let's get a check of our firstborn forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze?
And we are tracking a couple chances for more rain here across southern Wisconsin, not only up into this upcoming weekend, but even beyond that in the Wednesday and Thursday after Veterans Day. Temperatures are also expected to stay warmer than average as more sunshine returns as we head into your Thursday and Friday, and then back after we go into this upcoming weekend when we are anticipating our first chance for rain. So we talked about the first chance for rain already. Let's jump ahead to that chance that comes after Veterans Day. Starting later Tuesday, possibly into early Wednesday, our next low pressure system is going to move through the Midwest, bringing us rain at first, but then watch as northwesterly winds pull down some cooler air back behind that. And that's going to be possibly cold enough to not only turn some of those raindrops into snowflakes, but most of that rain activity into more snow where you find that blue. For folks who are ready for winter, this is some good news. This is kind of coming a little bit later than when the Madison area typically sees its first snowflakes. But for folks who are not ready for winter, there's also some good news. Our ground temperatures and our air temperatures are going to be well above freezing. So any snow that we do see is going to quickly melt. The reason why we're able to get this snow is because we're going to be watching now at this point in the year kind of systems tap into the polar jet stream and its placement. You're going to have two competing air masses, a very warm air mass and a very cool air mass. And once you kind of get some of that cooler air wrapped around, and if there's any remaining moisture, you're going to turn that over to snow, or at least snowflakes. So after climbing into the upper 60s to low 70s on Wednesday, we're back into those low to mid 30s by the time some of the snow could be falling next Thursday, but then we're back well above freezing into the afternoon hours. So it's far too early to even speculate snow totals, but that just goes to show you we're getting into that point of fall into early winter where we tap into kind of the more dynamic parts of our jet stream. And as we look ahead over the next couple of weeks, over the next 8 to 14 days, we are still expected to stay above average with our forecast high temperatures anywhere from about 5 to almost 20 degrees above average over the next 7 to 10 days. We're looking at the 50s tomorrow with partly sunny to mostly cloudy conditions, becoming more sunny as the day goes on, and we are anticipating plenty of sunshine there for your Friday with some morning fog. Rain over the weekend, but we are looking to stay dry for your Veterans Day before that next chance of rain moves in by that following Wednesday.
Blaze, thank you. We might take it for granted, but easy access to electricity is not universal.
When we come back, how an American company is trying to bring electricity to parts of Africa.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC turn your design dreams into reality. With customized solutions and quality products, our passion and expertise will help turn your room into a dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
It is so easy to shop for flooring when it's all laid out by style and color. They think of everything here at Coil Carpet One Floor and Home. Welcome in to Buzzed into Madison. We're here at Coil Carpet One with Tom Coyle. third generation. I love coming to do features on long-time family businesses. I just think it's so important.
It's wonderful. Yeah, my grandfather started the business in 1945. We started as a hardware store on Park Street. We moved to our current location in 1969 and have really concentrated on floor covering, cabinetry, and countertops for the past 15, 20 years.
And of course, after years in business, it's always nice to have a brand new facelift of your showroom, but specifically the room-by-room design system. What is this?
So floor covering purchases are an infrequent purchase for consumers, so it can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yes.
So we were able to take multiple manufacturers and put them together so that consumers are able to come in and look at by style and color as opposed to a manufacturer. So it allows customers to come in and pick the color that they want, and then we're able to work with them to make sure that the product that they're putting into their home is the right one for their home.
It makes so much sense because you come in as a customer with usually what, a color idea?
Correct. We're very visual, so having the ability to just look at color, it really helps speed the process along.
And instead of just laying a sample down in your space, there's something that you can do on the website.
Sure. On our website, we have a room visualizer. So you can take a photo of a room and place different carpets or floor covering into that space to see what it would look like before you actually make a purchase.
And if you're still not sold, listen to this, the beautiful guarantee.
We have a beautiful guarantee. So that means if you don't like your floor covering for any reason, whether it's color, style, anything like that, we're able to replace it at no charge to you.
All right, there you go. You heard it, Mr. Tom Coyle himself. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Welcome back. Powering up is something most of us take for granted, but across parts of Africa, hundreds of millions of people are living without access to electricity.
An American company is working to change that with an innovation that's up for Prince William's Earthshot Prize, an award that highlights climate solutions. CBS's Sarah Carter reports from South Africa.
12-year-old Dima Katsa isn't a fan of household chores in her tiny one-room home in South Africa. Her life changed last year when her mom couldn't afford their rent, leaving them no choice but to move. She says she misses running water and especially electricity.
We don't have much. We don't afford that much. It is hard.
But her world is getting a bit brighter thanks to a company called Delight, created at Stanford Design School.
What would it take to just run a solar panel and a 6-volt battery?
Delight has now connected more than 175 million people in 70 countries with clean energy from solar power. Muriel Nobella can now power her TV, radio, and lights with a solar panel on her roof that runs to an outside light and into a storage battery. It costs her just over $250, paid off in monthly installments.
Right now, I'm able to watch TV like other people who stay where there's electricity.
Her neighbor, Portia Msomi, has always relied on gas to cook and candles for nighttime light. Now it's just a flip of a switch.
Launch our first product.
That kind of reaction is what drives CEO Najib Tozen.
We want to transform the lives of 1 billion people by 2030.
Portia takes pride in her solar system, cleaning it daily, and now it's all paid off. And at Dima Katso's house, being connected means she can now indulge in her favorite activity.
I like to watch Instagram, TikTok.
Bringing her happiness, hope, and a sense of empowerment. Sarah Carter, CBS News, Lolly, South Africa.
Oh, look at your cheek. If Delight wins this year's Earthshot Prize, it would get about $1.3 million to expand solar energy to billions more.
Next, the U.S. Senate race in the state wasn't declared until 16 hours after the polls closed.
We'll take a look at the Baldwin-Hovde results when Live at 4 continues.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible.
Discover stressless seating at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, it's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. Right now, take 10% off all stressless recliners, sofas, tables, and ottomans. The Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Are your home's tired, leaky gutters saying, rain, rain, go away? Is your basement at risk of flooding? To the rescue, Fry Construction and our absolute gutters. Our gutters are custom fabricated on-site for a perfect, seamless fit that's engineered to excel. Wishing for a break in the clouds? How about a sunny 29% discount on our absolute gutter system? To get this great deal, visit fryconstruction.com today to schedule your roof or siding replacement.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad. Feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went a different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
But it feels good to feel good and look good.
The mommy belly is gone. Schedule your free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-557-5298 or go to sonobello.com.
Every day starts with a routine, but it's the details that define our day. Clarity that helps you focus and keeps your goals in sight. In every moment, every look, every glance. See the world your way with Wisconsin Vision. Ask about 40% off lenses with purchase of frame. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, I believe, is that Janesville, I believe?
It is Janesville.
Yeah, I do love that area. It's a very nice town square, and that bridge is just beautiful.
It is cute. Well, our weather words are clearing out to end the week. I don't know what that means.
Blaze, help her. Help her, Blaze. Help me too.
What
does this mean?
Clearing out the clouds as we look to end the work week. Yes, more sunshine as we look towards, especially your Friday. Maybe seeing some peaks of sunshine to end Thursday, but we'll probably still be more cloudy than sunny. But then rain moves in as we head into your upcoming weekend. So currently we're sitting in the 40s and 50s, still 50 in Beloit, 48 in Boaz, 46 in Necedah, 47 in Evansville, 47 in the Madison area, probably hanging around 46, 47, 48 degrees across Dane County. Let's jump ahead, future track into that rain chance on Saturday. Most of the day is going to be dry, but then by the evening and overnight, that's when our first chance for rain moves in, and that'll continue as we head throughout the rest of your Sunday, kind of tapering off as the day goes on as well, because we're going to be dry, albeit maybe partly sunny for your Veterans Day. So far for the month, we've picked up about 1.25 inches of rain, kind of keeping on pace with an average November rainfall of just over 2 inches. So we only need about 3 more quarters of an inch, and then we couldn't see any more rain for the rest of November, and we would be fine. But again, we still have drought conditions across the state of Wisconsin, so we'll take any rain at this point. We're headed into the 30s overnight. We're going to track out some fog and maybe even some light snow in the extended forecast.
Thank you, Blaze. Vice President Kamala Harris conceded the election to President-elect Donald Trump within the past hour.
But she said while she conceded the election, she does not concede the fight. Bradley Blackburn reports.
Deserve
This will truly be the golden age of America.
President-elect Donald Trump picked up a win in Michigan Wednesday afternoon, sweeping the so-called blue wall states that were keys to Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign.
They came from all corners, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American.
Harris called Trump to concede the race and discuss the peaceful transition of power, a theme she touched on while addressing supporters in Washington this afternoon.
We will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it.
Trump campaign officials tell CBS News they will start holding transition meetings immediately here in Florida, so they're ready to take office January 20th.
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
Trump has said beginning on day one, he will give the order to round up and expel all immigrants living in the U.S. illegally. He wants to impose a tariff of 10 to 20% on all goods not made in America. And he says he will end the wars in Ukraine and Gaza.
They said he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
After last night, he'll also have more help enacting his policies on Capitol Hill.
We have taken back control of the Senate, and it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives.
Control of the House remains unsettled. It's the Democrats' last chance at providing checks on Trump's policy goals as he returns to the White House. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
House Speaker Mike Johnson remains confident that the GOP will maintain control of the House. Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says it's too early to call, and adds, quote, every vote must be counted.
Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin will return to Washington for another term as Wisconsin's U.S. Senator. The Associated Press called the closely watched race just a few hours ago.
Republican challenger Eric Hovde was ahead into the late night hours, but Baldwin pulled ahead with a slim, less than 1 point lead. Braden Ross joins us with more. Braden.
Yeah, I hope you guys aren't sick of maps because I have another one for you. This map shows you where Tammy Baldwin outperformed Kamala Harris last night. You can take a look at dark blue Lafayette County and Adams County here. She outperformed Harris by more than 3 points in each of those counties, and that is what it took to get her back to Washington. Now, like you said, though, this was a very close race. It took until this afternoon to call it, but we just learned Baldwin will give a victory speech tomorrow morning. We have a statement, though, from the campaign reacting to her win. It reads in part, the Senate as we embrace our state motto forward and keep fighting for the workers, farmers, and families that make our state great. Now, we also have a statement from the Hovde campaign. This came in this morning before this race was called by AP today. In it, he blamed part of his loss on the Libertarian candidate in the race for taking votes that could have gone to him. It reads in part, quote, we're certainly disappointed that the Democrats' effort to siphon votes with a fraudulent candidate has a significant impact on the race, with those votes making up more than the entire margin of the race right now. Now, like you said, the margin is very slim. Baldwin winning by only about 30,000 votes. That's within the margins that would allow for a recount under Wisconsin law. But Hovde would have to pay for that recount if he does decide to ask for it. Here's Wisconsin GOP Chairman Brian Schimming on that possibility.
You know, we'll spend some time with the Hovde campaign and with our staff, our election integrity staff and others, kind of looking at that issue and see it is a very, very close race. There's no doubt about that. And so we'll take a look at that issue, but I just don't have anything definitive to say now.
Now, some important context here, though. Historically, recounts have not typically changed the outcome of elections.
Braden, thank you. As we've seen, Wisconsin's presidential and Senate races both came within just 1 percentage point, making it closer than close.
News 3 Now's Kyle Pozorski brings us voters' reaction to the election in their own words.
In Rock County, a place where Democrats won handedly Tuesday, things outside the Citrus Cafe felt more emblematic of the statewide count. John Sparacino voted Trump.
As a business owner, I was somewhat worried that he might not pull it off, but he did. It's praise the Lord.
Chris Bester voted for Harris.
I'm devastated. I don't know what's going to happen to the country with
a president that's a felon.
Tom Mikas, coming into town from Whitewater for breakfast with a friend, tells us he's ready to move forward.
I just wanted it to be a fair election. I want everybody to be happy with it so that the country can move forward.
And in this divisive, oftentimes dirty campaign, a sign of unity with homeowner Charlie Phillips, a Republican, taking down his campaign signs.
Do you think it's time for this country to come together?
Yeah.
Under the divisiveness?
Yeah. I have family members that would vote the opposite. We get along great. It's just, I want that for the whole country.
In Janesville, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Voters approved 2 referendums from the Madison Metropolitan School District by large margins.
Tanasia Shaw is reporting on the changes we'll see throughout MMSD. Tanasia.
Yeah, today I got the chance to speak with one of the longest serving members of MMSD School Board. Her name is Nikki. She says she's grateful for the approval and that it will go a long way. The $607 million will go towards staff paying staff more, maintaining small class sizes, and renovating older buildings. This money is set to make the district more accommodating for everyone.
For a long time, we did very well, but our kids deserve better. We're trying to make sure our students have the best quality understanding, and we can't do that without a staff that is truly trained to understand how to work with all learners.
That's Nikki Van Mullen right there. She also thanked voters for approving those referendums. Tonight at 6, I'll break down the ways that people and staff, students and staff will see those impacts. Back to you.
Thank you, Tanasia. The 401ks where millions of Americans jumped today thanks to a big rally on Wall Street. The result of the presidential election sent stocks higher to record levels. The Dow gained 1,508 points, the Nasdaq gained 544, and the S&P was up 146.
'Tis almost the season to start your holiday shopping.
Do you start yours right now?
I start mine like December 22nd.
Okay, that's about when I start mine. Oh, well. When we come back, we have some advice on how to create a budget so you don't overspend.
I wonder how this mattress compares to that big name brand.
No need to wonder. Hit that button. Let's play Bob's Dare to Compare. My signature hybrid mattress versus the leading brand name hybrid mattress. What are you looking for, Carolina?
Contouring memory foam? Can ship in a box? 20-year warranty.
Just mine has that, and theirs is over $1,000 more. Sure, they're not exactly the same, but is theirs worth so much more? You be the judge when you dare to compare. In store or at mybobs.com.
I was an occupational therapist and I had lost my position. I was able to just go the next day, oh well, I can dash. I love it for the freedom. I can schedule myself. Also, dashing just gives you a sense of purpose. Having portable benefits would be really awesome for me because I could use them to help cover my vision, co-pays, and adding to my 401k. And I could continue to build that till I retire.
Hi, my name is Damian Clark. If you have both Medicare and Medicaid, I have some really encouraging news that you'll definitely want to hear. Depending on the plans available in your area, you may be eligible to get extra benefits with the Humana Medicare Advantage Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan. Most plans include the Humana Healthy Options Allowance, a monthly allowance to help pay for eligible groceries, utilities, rent, and over-the-counter items. The Healthy Options Allowance is loaded onto a prepaid card each month, and whatever you don't spend carries over from each month. Plus, your doctor, hospital, and pharmacy may already be part of our large Humana networks. So call the number on your screen now and ask about a Humana Medicare Advantage Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan. And remember, annual enrollment ends on December 7th. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Nobody wants to think about cold weather, but now's the time to winterproof your home. Is your house cold every winter? Your home needs foam. Are your heating costs too high? Your home needs foam. Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Your home needs foam. USA Premium Foam is over 35% more efficient than ordinary, weaker insulation. Winterproof now and get 0% financing for 72 months.
USA Insulation.
News 3 Now, covering election 2024 every step of the way.
Things are running pretty smoothly. They've had a pretty steady stream of voters.
Talking to you, the people.
We're going to be here until polls close.
And covering the issues that matter right here.
This is going to be where to watch tonight in that Senate race.
I am ready to roll up my sleeves and get to work for our community.
We're going to carry Wisconsin for Trump, and so it's a great night for me as a Republican.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now, moving forward.
Well, the holidays are right around the corner, and experts predict spending to be at an all-time high. So now's the time to start thinking about budgeting.
You're getting nothing from... No, I'm kidding. Jen Sullivan looks at shopping trends and how to avoid the holidays from hurting your finances.
It's the season of giving, but if you're not careful with finances, you could be getting a hefty bill at the end of the holiday season. Experts say shopping as early as now can help you budget.
We have seen a trend over the last couple of years of consumers starting their shopping a little earlier for the winter holidays.
Catherine Cullen with the National Retail Federation says holiday spending this year is expected to hit an all-time high, with shoppers spending an average of $902 per person, about $641 going towards gifts, and the rest towards food, cards, and decor. There is some good news for shoppers this year.
We do know that in many ways inflation has gotten better than it was last year, particularly when it comes to goods, which is great news for consumers.
A recent survey by NerdWallet found 28% of shoppers who used credit cards to buy gifts last year are still paying off that debt. So, how can you make sure you don't overspend?
The best thing to do is to really make a plan before you start spending. Ideally, we want to use our savings and not debt to fund those purchases.
NerdWallet personal finance expert Kimberly Palmer also recommends these tips. Make a list and figure out exactly how much you want to spend. Start shopping early. Talk to family and friends about expectations and possibly scaling back. And sign up for price drop alerts.
Using some kind of browser add-on like Honey or the Camelizer browser extension just to track those prices can just help make sure that you're getting the best deal possible.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Oh, we just got a case of the giggles. Totally unrelated, but we're fine. All right, coming up, Vice President Kamala Harris has delivered her concession speech.
What happened at the polls and where do we go from here? Charles Franklin is here with his crystal ball when we return.
Nobody wants to put a new roof over their head. It's too expensive. And if they can extend the life of that roof and get 5 more years or 10 more years, it's a no-brainer.
What RoofMax does is it helps people in that they don't have to spend that $15,000, $20,000 on a new roof. They can spend pennies on the dollar.
The RoofMax product was a small percentage of cost of replacing a roof.
This is a great financial decision for us as a community.
The kindness, the efficiency, the respect was amazing.
From start to finish, they will take care of you.
Everybody is just so kind and everybody's so cheerful. I just never worked with a company where everybody seems to get along and they're all happy to be working for Cardinal.
Cardinal is the place to go for any type of work that you need done around your home.
I never hesitate with family, friends, neighbors to recommend Cardinal, and nobody has come back to me and said I was wrong.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Winter Art Fair Off the Square, November 9th and 10th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center, featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auction Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collector's Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair Off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
We went to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison last night.
I don't really get how the jackpots work.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison actually has had multiple million-dollar winners.
There are linked progressive slot machines at the same casino where local players increase the jackpot amount.
And a standalone progressive jackpot increases when a player plays on an individual machine that isn't linked to any other machines. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More ways to win. Find your perfect jackpot.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Oh, Evergreen, Colorado is looking a little white today.
I was just gonna say, not really looking evergreen. It says 22 degrees. I do not envy that.
It's pretty though.
It
pretty
is
to
very
look at
pretty.
from here.
Pretty to look at on a screen from far away.
Yeah. All right, we're good with that.
Yeah.
Well, it was an election for the ages, and what better person to have help us put that into perspective?
Then Charles Franklin himself, director of the Marquette Law School poll. Hi, Charles, thanks for joining us.
One more time.
One more time. What do you think about the results that we saw?
Well, I mean, it's a very interesting result. In one sense, pollsters, including me, have been saying these are incredibly close races in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. They all turned out to be incredibly close races. And in the North Carolina and Georgia, where they were leaning a little bit to Trump, that's who won. This is really a case where the dominoes all fell in one direction, right? Instead of getting maybe a 4-3 split that could have kept us going for a week, they all fell in the same direction, and so we don't have the drama of waiting 3 or 4 more days to find out who won.
Yeah, and that was one of the questions I had for you. Is we heard a lot of talk. It could be days, weeks before we find out the president. Don't hold your breath to know the day after, and it's the day after, and we know. How does that work?
Yeah, well, if the Electoral College had come down to Arizona and Nevada, where they take a while to count the ballots, we could have been waiting a long time. But again, since the 3 Great Lakes states all went the same way as North Carolina and Georgia, the fact that Arizona and Nevada haven't been called yet, at least as far as I know, doesn't matter because Trump is clearly well over the 270 electoral votes he needed to win.
A lot of people now are, of course, talking about what each campaign did. And throughout the Harris campaign, you know, that campaign made a lot out of President-elect Trump's felony convictions, the indictments, the impeachments. He has a way of taking that and making it seem like the establishment is going after him, even though he is a former president. And the way he speaks, some people find it offensive. Some people find he finds a way to speak to a certain swath of voters, and it resonates with them. Is that what we saw here?
Well, I think that's part of it. You know, it's always a challenge for a campaign to find the message that resonates with voters, that's the key to changing their understanding of the opponent. And I think the Harris campaign tried a number of things that worked at most at the margins, not overwhelmingly successfully. But I think Harris was also burdened by the record of the Biden administration, the fact that he only has a 42 or 3% approval rating here and has been at that level for the last 3 years, and people are really pessimistic about the economy. We're finding that in the Trump years, 60% said they were living comfortably. For the last year and a half, it's been 45% here. So those are big structural burdens that it wouldn't matter who the Democratic candidate was, they would have to bear those. But of course, as Biden's vice president, Harris had a little bit of an extra burden there.
And what's that quote? It's the economy, stupid?
It is the quote.
And did they do enough to hit on that?
Yeah,
to separate themselves.
They tried in talking about focusing on the middle class and so on, but it's very hard to separate a vice president from their president, no matter who they are. And in this case, we had seen the economy as the most important issue since last January. If anything, it became a little more important, and Trump had always had an advantage on that. So if Biden failed and then Harris tried, but apparently also failed to convince people that they really could get better on the economy, you go into the campaign with an arm tied behind your back.
Yeah, and we saw two very different candidates here. What did we learn from the way this played out from these two campaigns that we'll take into that next cycle?
Well, I think number one is that Harris was seen as better on a variety of character issues, but that wasn't enough to tip the race in her direction. But not only was Trump seen as better on the economy and on immigration, and Harris was clearly seen as better on abortion, but on the issue that mattered most to voters, 46% said Trump would be better, 43% said Harris. Campaigns also have to address those issues and try to, if you're Harris, try to shift the perceptions on that. And they were unable to do it. Those perceptions favored Trump from January through yesterday.
Yeah. And we have about 20 more seconds before you wrap up. Where do we go from here? What does the future hold?
Well, we're going to have a new administration, and we'll see 4 years of Trump and a Republican, at least Senate and perhaps House of Representatives. What will they actually enact? Remember, Trump had both the House and the Senate Republicans when he was president before. Will he be more effective at implementing his policies, and will the party embrace them thoroughly? Yeah. Hang on, we'll see next January.
So we'll see you at the midterms then, too?
Indeed.
All right. Thank you, Charles. All right, let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Here's meteorologist Blaze Keller.
And we are tracking rain chances as we head into your weekend, but even beyond that, we're seeing some rain chances as well. Friday morning, we could be waking up to some fog as winds turn out of the south throughout your day Thursday, but we are anticipating to end the work week with more sunshine. As I mentioned, showers by the weekend, and then another chance that Wednesday after Veterans Day. After hanging out in the 30s overnight, we're going to climb back into those 50s for your Thursday. But let's jump ahead to next week. This is Tuesday of next week, and we're going to watch as rain chances start to move in maybe later Tuesday night, if not by Wednesday morning, and continue to impact us as we go throughout your Wednesday. This is going to be a stronger system, and it's going to tap into these two competing air masses that will be over the Midwest potentially. A warm, moist one, which is why we start off with rain, and then back behind that, you're seeing those blues. So cooler air, drier air, allowing those raindrops to maybe turn over to a rain-snow mix and further into all snow. So for folks who are ready for snow, this is some good news. This would be coming a little bit later than when we typically see those first snowflakes in the Madison area. But for folks who are not quite ready for winter, even though our temperatures dip to about freezing, by the time the snow would be falling into the afternoon that Thursday, we're back into those upper 30s to low 40s. Not to mention our ground is still very warm. So any snow that we do see, if we do see it, it will most likely melt as we continue to remain above average, or at least above freezing. In terms of above average or cooler than average temperature trends over the next not only 6 to 10, but 8 to 14 days, we are going to continue to remain on the warmer than average side. We're looking at 50s tomorrow, as I mentioned, mostly cloudy to partly sunny, and then more sunshine into the second half of your Thursday, with plenty of sunshine expected on Friday. There's a look at your 7 and your 10-day forecast. A quiet Veterans Day with that rain and possibly a rain-snow mix following by that following Wednesday.
Welcome to Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for beautiful furniture, sofas, chairs, and recliners, sectionals, and fun accessories. Shop our Fitchburg showroom today.
Are your home's tired, leaky gutters saying, rain, rain, go away? Is your basement at risk of flooding? To the rescue, Fry Construction and our absolute gutters. Our gutters are custom fabricated on site for a perfect, seamless fit that's engineered to excel. Wishing for a break in the clouds? How about a sunny 29% discount on our absolute gutter system? To get this great deal, visit fryconstruction.com today to schedule your roof or siding replacement.
When it comes to winning internet, TDS is in a league of our own. Just like the Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin born and bred, we live, work, play, hire, and get involved in the communities we serve. Like delivering the green and gold standard of internet. 100% fiber internet that's as fast, powerful, and reliable as your other hometown favorite, the Packers. TDS, internet that's built Wisconsin strong.
At
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
From our Dwellings family to yours, happy holidays.
News 3 Now, covering election 2024 every step of the way.
Things are running pretty smoothly. They've had a pretty steady stream of voters.
Talking to you, the people.
We're going to be here until polls close.
And covering the issues that matter right here.
This is going to be where to watch tonight in that Senate race.
I am ready to roll up my sleeves and get to work for our community.
We're going to carry Wisconsin for Trump, and so it's a great night for me as a Republican.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now, moving forward.
Let's take a look at this. A Scottish zoo is hoping a newborn pygmy hippo will become a social media star, rivaling Thailand's Mudang. Who?
You love Mudang.
I do love Mudang. Haggis was born on October 30th to proud parents Otto and Gloria. I love that name. That's my mom's name, according to the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland. The zoo said the calf is doing well and her personality is beginning to shine.
Pygmy hippos are native to the forests and swamps of West Africa, and they are an endangered species. It's estimated only 2,500 remain in the wild due to habitat loss. The zoo hopes that Haggis will, I love that name, will attract as much attention as Mudang, who became a global viral sensation earlier this year thanks to her trademark bounce.
Don't you just feel for Mudang? Had that 15 minutes of fame, now we're done with her?
Poor Mudang.
Oh.
On to Haggis.
We gotta go. We'll be right back.
It hits you when you step into any of the 3 Willie Street Co-op stores. The smell of freshness. We work with hundreds of farms and vendors to bring you natural, organic, and local food selection unmatched in Madison. Everyone is welcome at Willie Street Co-op, and if you join our more than 30,000 owners, you'll get more sales, discounts, and perks. Fresh, local, organic, yours. Willie Street Co-op.
Get an 11% rebate on your lighting project at Menards. Check out Menards' great selection of Lutron lighting controls. LED Plus dimmer switches let you create perfect lighting for your home. Just $16.99 after rebate. Legrand USB outlets allow you to charge your smart devices without needing bulky USB adapters and feature up to 40% faster charging. Right now, all in-stock outlets with USB charging ports are on sale, plus an 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Think all Medicare plans are the same? Think again. A Medicare Advantage plan from Dean Health Plan gives you the benefits you need with premiums as low as $0 a month. Medical, hospital, and prescription drug coverage comes with $0 copays for primary care doctor visits. And extra benefits can help you save even more. Get preventive and comprehensive dental, $250 for eyewear, and $750 for hearing aids. Plus, you can save on over-the-counter health and wellness items. All this and free fitness memberships at more than 25,000 locations. Call 1-888-296-4080 today to get your free Dean Health Plan Medicare Advantage Guide. That's 1-888-296-4080. Dean Health Plan. Right here with you.
Come celebrate the season with Baraboo Furniture and Mattresses store-wide fall kickoff sale. Every department is on sale. Save an additional 25% off the lowest marked sales price on Smith Brothers and England living room sets. Save an additional 30% off Flex Steel furniture, 25% off Amish furniture. Every department is on sale in our beautiful showroom, including Ashley, Running Furniture, Spring Air Mattresses, and much more. Hurry in today to the huge store-wide fall kickoff sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, where your satisfaction is our guarantee.
That wraps up today's Live at 4. Zorba Pastor shows us how mindfulness can help us dealing with post-election anxiety. And next at 5, we continue to dive into last night's election, the responses from all across the board, and the return of a program that makes sure veterans feel seen. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today. We hope to see you back here tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right after this.